What's up, Dan and Corey? It's AC here, and Nathan, and I'm so happy my book just came today. Let's do a review. And I'm a bit of change, and we're almost going to the 100th episode. Heck yeah. And we are going to unbox this thing. Don't mind this. Let's unbox it. This is new. Wowzers! A Washington DC book. Wow, it's an old version. And they are going to be iconic. Glad I'm gonna read this. What made me to put me into this? Old pictures. What made me to put me in this book? There's a statue of Thomas Jefferson at the George Washington Monument, Capitol Square. We are doing this right now. Guys, stop hollering right now. I'm doing this. I'm glad we are almost about to do the 100th video next. So I hope you will all like this book. Well, this is nothing but a Washington DC book. It has a White House, the Capitol, Evil Gemma, a statue of Thomas Jefferson. Yeah. This area by area, you need to know. 2 weeks ago we went to DC. And U.S. Capitol. Oh yeah, George Washington statue. The White House. The continents. To use this guide anytime. Guide. Introducing DC. Putting DC on the map. The greater DC area. Yep. George Washington over here. Jamestown. Cornwallis and the meeting in New York discussing where Dance City. War of 1812. A map. Wow. The Baltimore, Ohio Railroad. Some in slavery times. The abolishing slavery. Pennsylvania New. Abraham Lincoln. Frederick Douglass. The Capitol and the Congress Service. FDR. Marion Anderson. Women's suffrage. This is a great page. Civil Rights Era. Protesters. Keene. MLK and Bill Clinton. I have the Bush and Obama, the DC one, and a newer one. These presidents. Sadly, no Bush and Obama. Federal government work. It's federal life. There's Grant and there's the highlights in DC. The Peace Monument. The attractions. Museums and galleries. These museums. Anytime museums in DC. Monuments in Lincoln, Jefferson, and Washington. Evil Gemma. FDR. Great. For the year you can do things in DC. And not much because of the pandemic. This is the Jefferson Memorial. This area. Capitol Hill. Oh yeah, they have a picture of this statue of Grant. And a map of this Capitol Hill, if you can know. Strip area, Capitol Hill. Thomas Jefferson Bus. Library Congress. Shakespeare. Modern Library and this in the Park Grand Memorial. The Supreme Court. The U.S. Capitol is a famous sight you can see in D.C. The pictures in that thing. It's botanic and all the things you see in D.C. Capitol Hill. A Columbus statue. Tear Columbus statue down. The Washington Monument in the U.S. Capitol. The mall. If you're on a long walk, 2 weeks ago, left. Long walks, the mall, all the historic sites. The art gallery. This is a gallery of art. Check on the art, please. 19th century French art. Air and Space Museum. Everything you see in this Air and Space Museum. National Air and Space Museum. National Museums. And all the museums you see in DC in the mall. Natural History Museum. Smithsonian Castle. Things you see in the Smithsonian. American History Museum. All the collections. The drawing celebration that I have at night is great in the National Museum of American History. Wow, it is a American history. The Washington Monument. Jefferson Memorial. I zoomed out when I saw John's cousin. Holocaust Museum. We can all remember the Holocaust. It was a tragic time. The FDR Memorial. The lights in FDR. The Lincoln Memorial, Korean Veterans. Ben Franklin statue downtown. Old downtown. The old. I cut off here. No, the National Archives. The statues of the Constitution. Chain snaps and allegiance. And all those things for the people. This is great. Pennsylvania Avenue. President inaugural parade. Even more. Benjamin Franklin. Old post office and Franklin statue. Everything is in DC. The National Museum of Women. Lincoln and the Theater for Chinatown. Martin Luther King Jr. National Museum of Art and Portrait Gallery. Ronald Reagan and Pocahontas. American art. All the centers in DC. the statue I zoomed in make. It's a first division I missed. The White House. White House in DC. Exploring this, and they even have a portrait of these Union generals, leaders. Wow, they are great. The treasure building and Lafayette Square and all this. It's getting hot. Wow, the Archival building. The gallery, Smith, Federal Reserve building, Watergate and Nixon Beach. They don't have a picture of Washington Circle, but it's okay. John F. Kennedy Center, Georgetown. I'm sweating. Georgetown? Yeah, this felt like if you walk from from Penn Square to there, Georgetown, everywhere you see in Georgetown, many times like Georgetown House, Georgetown University, for the head, Arlington Cemetery, where Robbie Lee's home is. Evil Gem at Arlington. The museum film selection. Winston Churchill Statue of Liberty have DC Zoological Park. Mary McLeod Preston House. Washington National Cathedral. Frederick Douglass House in Acosta. Is this a 2-minute long video? Beyond the DC region. Beyond DC. Washington DC. Wow, they put a Confederate flag in Richmond. Oh my god, it was the capital. Alexandria. Mount Vernon, where George Washington's home is. Constant Hall, Annapolis, and Baltimore, and his Lincoln speech to his address. Ontario and Minnesota and the Chino Valley. Fredericksburg. Oh yeah, the Lee line appeared. Monticello and Jamestown. Waynesburg. Travelers needs all you need to go to see is this book or another DC books in those hotels. Everything you see where to eat and choosing things and all the shopping they see you. I can do all of this. Can't do all this. The capsule survival. Information on screen. There's cash. They all changed. Wow, these great pictures. Maps. A map too. Sadly, they don't have a full-out map. Just a mental map. This was a great book. Well, what is my take on this book? It's a great success. They had the two Virginians they were Thomas Jefferson and Robbie Lee statue. The Thomas Jefferson statue on George Washington statue, good. And Dan and Coy, I know it is a great book. And it has an amazing book. The old ones. This book was published in 22. If you like this book, that is a great book. It has the Jefferson Memorial. This is cool. And if you're feeling like the newer one, it is great. This one had the Lee Marvin. The newer one had the Maryland State House. And if that top 10 things are great. Those are great. Feeling like the DK books if you're in the city? If you like the Family Guide book, it is a great Family Guide book. They had the William T. Sherman statue and George Washington statue inside Mount Vernon. Philadelphia. Well, it was a great one. If you're thinking of the two people I care about, I believe in, Dan and Coy, this New York City one, that is a great one. And the top 10 one has statue of George Washington on Union Square. The Family Guide of New York City book was a great one. And I'm so glad they had the Statue of Liberty for day 2. If you're going to Boston, why have that Boston book and have that George Washington too? The top 10 one was a great one. Had that same. The big USA book It had that repulsive of George Washington Union Square and the Lee Monument. This is great. Chicago was one of the great cities up in the Midwest. If you're thinking of the South, New Orleans, well, those DK guidebooks make it simple. Alright, goodbye. And I'm glad these two are going to be my all-time babies, the old ones. Bye, Dan, Corey. I love you and I believe in you. And I believe in the world of Dan.